Hello everyone, welcome to the beginning of your week. It is Monday and I am here with Dr. Murphy, and today we are doing Mythbusters. Today, Dr. Murphy, your Mythbuster is this. Is it true that there's a difference in medication between brand name and generic, or is it totally fine always to get the generic version and people are just trying to make us pay more?
I don't think it's fine to always get the generics.
Okay.
Yeah, I've had a little bit of recent problem with this one. I was getting generic medicine for blood pressure. That's what I take. And the pharmacist, for whatever reason, switched to a different generic. And boy, I was getting home at night. I was feeling tired. I've had a headache. And I just felt bad. So I thought, man, could this be my blood pressure? So I started taking my blood pressure. It was about 180 over 130. And I'm just like, oh, okay, there's something going on here. So I got a little bit irritated, looked up the medicine, found out there's 17 different generics of this particular blood medicine. It's Norvasc, amlodipine is what it is. That's what I take. And so I called them and talked to the pharmacist about it. Of course, I didn't know much about it, but they told me, it looks like it's either made in China or India. I mean, it seems like where they all come from. That's why I told them, I said, can you just give me name brand? This stuff's been around for 25 years. Name brand, Norvasc, it's got to be relatively inexpensive. Well, it turns out it was $400 a month, so it's not that cheap, when my generic was $10 for a month's supply. So I switched back, and I told them to get the previous generic I was taking, got back on it, blood pressure seems to be under control. So I thought, wow, I probably need to Google this and look this up a little bit. And come to find out, this has been going on for 20 years. We've been having problems with generics. And I think there's this one physician, he's a cardiologist in Pennsylvania, he called it out about 20 years ago. When his patients, he was giving them particular medicines for blood pressure and arrhythmia control, and he weren't holding them. So he made it his mission to call this one out. And I wish they would do something about it. I wish the federal government would get more engaged, but I guess they're too busy trying to impeach our president, so our Congress is never going to do anything about it. So, great country we live in here. Worthless politicians.
Mm-hmm. It's true. So my question is this.
Go ahead and bleep this section.
They
all suck.
I'm not believing that. I think most people would agree with that. My question is this.
They can't do a damn thing out there. I've never seen anything like it. We're all dying out here from this stupid stuff. And they're not doing anything. They don't care about me.
I really feel like the first 50 years of this country, maybe they were able to get a lot done, but then after that, it's just been everybody screaming at each other.
I have a granddaughter in kindergarten, okay? They get along better than these people.
Yeah.
Kindergartners. Put them in Congress. I think they'll do a better job.
Yeah. Well, there's no money involved, so that might be easier for kindergartners.
I probably could.
Yeah.
But this is a big deal. I mean, we're important. All these medications, and nobody's checking these things. Well, my God, there's probably asbestos, talc powder, all these other kind of crazy poisons that we're ingesting.
Same thing with vitamins. I mean, nobody really checks these vitamins that you're consuming.
They're over-the-counter supplements. They're considered a food source, not really a drug. So nobody checks.
So there are not a lot of strict rules on them.
Yeah, and even on generics, there's not a lot of strict rules. If it's a name brand medicine, it pretty much has to be within 1% of what they say is in there. Generics, they can be anywhere from 10, 30, 40, 50% less. So, no, I got a big problem with generics anymore.
When you go to your pharmacy and your pharmacy says, it's the same thing.
It's not.
It may not be.
But it might be the same thing you've been taking for 20 years, but then they switch brands on you, and this kind of nonsense happens. But I'm going to do some more digging. I'm going to find out who this pharmaceutical company is, and I'm going to look them up. And if it's what I think it is, I'm going to come back on Trash Talk Tuesday, and I'm going to get medieval on these people.
And then you'll never hear from him again.
No. I'll probably put a bloodless on
you
my
better
head.
be careful what bee nest you go poking around on, or wasp nest. I guess bees all live in
I'll probably get a Pakistani 308 bullet in my head or something like that.
Yeah. If there's some mysterious way that you die, we all know he didn't kill himself.
Uranium poisoning. But if it's a bizarre way, like slipping on coffee that's frozen that I threw on the ground, I probably did. I could do that.
Well, don't give anybody any ideas of the pharmaceutical companies that are going to come for you.
I'll bring them on. I don't care. They don't bother me.
Okay. Well, there you go. There's your invitation. I've got his address, just let me know.
I got more guns, mine are bigger than hers, so come up, look up old Doc.
Oh gosh. Well, So, long story short, to end this Mythbuster, brand name versus generic, there is a difference.
Brand name I like, you can trust it. Generic, I'm not
And
so
here's what
sure.
stinks, though. All these people out there who can't afford name brand.
I know.
And here's what happens is a lot of times these insurance companies are no longer carrying or paying for, they're not carrying, but they're not going to be paying for certain name brands. Dave just had this problem yesterday. They're not going to honor the same price that they were paying for the medication that he needs that was the name brand. They switched him over generic. They said it's the same thing.
Well, they say it's the same thing, and it's got the same name, but it's not.
But it's not.
Yeah.
And here's the problem. He has a situation like you, and thankfully Dave can afford it. But unfortunately, there are a lot of people out there who can't afford this medication, and so now they're having to once again take it from the man because they don't have the money, they don't have the resources to pay for it, and the whole system flipped upside down on them, and they just have to deal with it.
I mean,
It's
you
not
know,
fair, man. It's so messed
it
up.
really isn't, Michelle. But here's the crazy cool thing. Okay, if I had the money Warren Buffett has, $60 billion, I'd go out and buy some generic pharmaceutical companies, and I'd have some really good ones, and I would sell them at just enough money where we can eke out a living and do some good for the country,
Yeah.
do some good for the world. I mean, what a hurtful thing that would do. I mean, God forbid somebody does something like that. I mean, the horror, the world
Meanwhile,
becoming to
Bill
an
Gates
end.
is taking poo and turning it into water.
Great for him.
You know?
Yeah. I won't be able to drink it because I'll be dead because I'm taking the wrong blood pressure medicine because it's made in some third world country with arsenic.
Yeah. Rat poison. Oh, is this rat poison? I'm just trying to get my prenatal vitamins, and turns out it was rat poison.
Yeah.
All right. Well, guys, that's pretty much your Mythbuster for the day.
Have a good Monday.
Have a good Monday. We'll see you tomorrow for Trash Talk Tuesday.